Do you have a job, or have you ever had a job?
No.
Yeah, I'm a pool guy.
I had one job, which was working at a pizza factory. I cleaned dishes, and I made pizza.
I've worked at Pizza Hut, a gas station. I'm still in high school, so not many.
I work at Victoria's Secret.
I work at Lifetime Athletic, and I take care of little kids pretty much.
I love my job. I like going there.
I've worked at a sporting store, and now I actually work at a costume store where I dress up in costumes and wave to people outside.
I have a job. I've had one in a store, and now I babysit.
I've umpired baseball games and mowed lawns, but nothing permanent. Starting this summer, I'll have a full-time job.
I'm working for a landscaping company. Pays well for being in a recession and being my age, I guess.
I work for my mom's business, and I just work in the office and do like paperwork.
And the reason I have a job is I love cars and I love working on cars, and you need money for that.
Free gym membership.
It's simple, making money. Money in the bank.
I have a job because I need money. And that's basically it. If I didn't need money, I probably wouldn't work.
I have a job because I need to pay for my car.
I want a job just because I want to feel like I have a responsibility, and also I want to make money. I'm at that age where my mom kind of stopped just giving money, so I have to make my own money now, and I'm going to college in the fall, and I'm going to need my own spending money.
I have a job because, like I said, I don't like to depend on my parents. They would give me money, but I'd rather earn it myself.
According to the U.S. Department of Labor, 21 million 16 to 24-year-olds were employed in July of 2008.
Whether it's babysitting, waiting tables at a restaurant, or working in a retail store, there are plenty of ups and downs to having a job.
And while some people get a job to fill their free time, most young people work so that they can earn extra spending money, maintain a car, or help pay for college.
Today's economy is forcing many young people to work just to help the family make ends meet.
Holding a job. That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi everyone, I'm Elias.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is RealfaithTV. It seems like most of the teens on the street were familiar with holding a job, or even two.
We'll talk with them a little later in the show, as well as meet our studio guests.
But first, let's talk with our spotlight guest, Christina. She'll share with us some of the jobs she's held as a teenager.
And how working now is helping her earn some money for college.
Well, the first job I had, I was in charge of running kids' parties, and I was a freshman, so I was about 15 at the time. I was making $6.25 an hour. I eventually quit that job because I was doing parties with 25 kids and it was getting a little hectic, and I started working at a local steakhouse when I was 16. So I started as a hostess because I've been allowed to serve because of their liquor license. And when I turned 18, I trained to serve. During the school year, I usually work between 10 and 15 hours a week. That's 2 or 3 nights. Over the summer, I'll work a little bit more. I always wanted a job. I thought it would be something really fun to have, and it'd be a good opportunity to make some pocket change. I think I'm a good employee. I am always on time. I try and get there a little early if it's possible. In the restaurant, we have this thing called side work, which is where as you serve your tables, you have to do things back in the kitchen that helps everyone out, like set up coffee, set up the soda station, put ice in it and things, and like clear out the dishwashing station. And so I always do whatever side work I'm assigned. If someone's busy and they're getting behind on their side work, I'll help them out if I need to. I try and do my job exactly the way that I was told to do my job. I'm polite to all the customers. The main reason I have a job now is that I love my job. I've been there for almost 3 years, and I think that my bosses, the people I work with, the atmosphere is just fantastic. I don't necessarily need the job, but I like the fact that I'm making money for when I go to college in the fall. It's going to be very handy to have, a couple extra dollars.
I think it's so interesting how, she said, really don't need the job. And I think that's the case with most teenagers. We don't need to be working, but it's cool to have the extra change. Who doesn't want it?
I know. Well, let's see what our studio guests have to say about this topic.
Okay. They are Megan, Andrew, Kelly, Charlotte, Chris, Phil, and Mary.
So what's your work experience like, and how is it important to you?
Well, I actually work at a local baseball stadium with my brother, and I think it's very important because it's good to have that little extra spending money to be able to get anything you want sometimes.
Yeah, for the past couple of summers, I had been working with my grandparents in their business as a cashier, and it really taught me to have people skills and respect for other people.
I babysit, and it helps because like I learn how to take care of kids, so when I have kids, like it'll be easier.
I've worked a variety of jobs over the years. You know, I've reffed sports games, that sort of thing. Most recently, I've been involved with concession stand.
I've taught violin and ballet, and then also, religious education as volunteer work. And I've been an editorial intern one summer at a magazine and all these things I'm like really passionate about.
I work with my uncle on his farm, and he's teaching me how to care for the farm and how to run and keep your business steady. So.
Yeah, over the past few years, I've had a few weird jobs. I was a DJ at one point. I tutored for a few kids, but I finally settled in working in a local supermarket. And it's a tough job, and most of my money I use to help out my family, pay bills and all that stuff. But it's good, I enjoy it, I don't have problems, and I don't complain about it.
Yeah, I work at a local retail store, and it's funny because everybody asks me, how hard is your job? And it's really, not that hard. My first response is usually the hardest part was getting the job in the first place.
Yeah.
And while finding and getting a job may be imperative to us, holding on to it is just as important as well.
What makes for a good employee?
That's what we ask the teens on the street.
Let's check it out.
A good employee is someone that's responsible, that you can count on to get the job done.
Get your work done and don't slack off.
Do our job and be able to do it right and not slack off.
Basically doing what you're told to do and doing more beyond that.
Do what needs to be done when it needs to be done.
And be not mean or like have an attitude towards other people.
Respectful of the owner and your fellow employees. Show up on time. Not complaining about your job.
Arriving on time, leaving on time, not leaving early or stopping anywhere, just doing what you got to do.
Be respectful.
Show respect to your owners.
Show up on time, don't steal. And
Being on time.
Make sure you show up on time. Make sure you follow the rules.
Show up on time and be a good person and be friendly.
If you have to call out, you actually do it. You give them enough time.
To be honest and stuff and do your work.
Being honest, loyal. To be loyal and hardworking.
put quality effort into your work.
A good employee is someone who can get along with customers.
I'm just an all-around good person in everything I do. That's why it makes me a good employee.
I am a responsible employee.
I do my job and I do more beyond that.
I show up to work on time, I do what I'm supposed to do. I don't complain too much.
I've always been the best employee that I can be.
I think I'm a very responsible employee.
I think I'm a very responsible employee. I'm always at work on time. I never had any complaint from anybody.
Yeah, I think like one of the girls said, getting along with others. I think that would be really important for being a good employee.
No, can you imagine?
So what do you guys think makes a good employee? What's important with holding on to a job?
Probably being respectful to the people you work with and getting along with them, as you said.
Yeah, I think like Kelly's saying, the most important thing is, how cooperative you are, how well you work with other people. And I think in the long run, that'll help you, in any business that you're working, in any field that you're working in.